It's connecting. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back here on Virtual Stitchers. You got Sammy J and
Lisa.
Aussie Stitcher? No.
Shady Tree Stitches. Yes, from Australia.
Well, you usually have Aussie Lisa in the corner. That's what my brain did.
It's all right. It's
okay. So this is our 2020. What we know, what's going on, and what we're diving into. Kind of a planning video, but mostly just discussion. Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit different to the usual because it's going to be a lot of us talking and not much of us showing things. But I thought we'd just let you guys know what we know so far, because there's a lot of things happening and a lot of you like to know what's happening in advance. Plus, you also like to know how on earth we managed to multi-dip so many times.
Yes. And it's only going to get worse in 2020 because there are new groups, y'all. There's more down the pipeline.
And each group that we already have has more events. It's exciting, but scary.
I think part of it is they're becoming more confident in what they've established, so they feel like they can add on more.
Yeah.
Ooh, and did they?
Oh yeah, including the first group, which is us.
Yes, Virtual Stitchers is going to be hosting a whole heap of sales this year. I don't know what we're thinking.
Well, we're inclusive. We got one.
Yeah, and I feel like we're kind of open forum. So a lot of our sales were requested from people that jump on here and hang out with us, and we're just giving them the space to do it. It's not like we're doing it. It just, kind of gives everybody a heads up. Hey, there's this sale going on.
And we didn't want to turn into a challenge group or anything like that because we all participate in other groups together. Admittedly, it's a very keen Virtual Stitches cohort, but we do like to do other things as well. So we thought, Sammy, Megan and I thought maybe we should just do a couple of sales and events to be something a bit different for this year.
And again, a lot of this is conversations that happen on Virtual Stitchers, and this person says, hey, look at this really cool pattern, and somebody else says, I would totally stitch that with you, and then we create it. It's very simple.
It does seem to be that way. Two people say, I'll stitch that with you, then it becomes a sale.
Yeah. And we have a pretty good heap of them right now, and I have a feeling that we're not seeing the end of that just yet because people, they get all excited for the new year. So the three set ones you're going to see every month on Virtual Stitchers is first, Hey. The first Saturday of every month, we want to give you an opportunity to pull out those full coverages and put in a few stitches. And whether it's starting one, working on one, we're just trying to help, what's the word, Lisa?
Just to try and draw us together and help people so that everyone's working on a similar thing at once. We find it really helpful on virtual to be able to talk and help people with their problems, or they want to ask about parking or cross country or whatever. If you're on the same sort of project, it can help. But on saying that, just to preface, we don't exclude anyone. So if you are stitching on your Mill Hill Christmas ornament, you can still join in, not a problem. Just know that everyone else will be talking Haid.
Right. And we're trying to encourage more people to use the event itself to post pictures. And I feel like Finish That Stitch December has really helped people get used to doing that. So I'm hoping it carries out into the new year. The next one that's going to occur on the 20th of every month is called Stitchers Unite, and it'll be different each month based on votes from everybody in the group. The top 12 will be going in those slots, and it's still open for voting until the 20th. So, if you want to go ahead and join, throw some votes in, and then I'll get those set up after the 20th, and it'll be the 20th of every month all year long.
Okay, cool.
Mostly it's focused on designers. A few people have put up themes. to maybe do on those days. So.
Okay.
And then what's our one on the 29th, Lisa?
It's the year of starts. And we are starting a new project every 29th of the month. Well, that's if you're Sammy, me, a couple of other people. We're doing on the 29th of each month because it's a leap year. And so that was just a good date to start it on. The year of starts is basically about getting a chance to get into those projects that you've got kitted up and you wanted to start. And if you just join us on the 29th, that'll be 12 new projects you start during the year. We also have a few people doing slightly more crazy versions, me included. I'm planning to start, I don't know, it's maybe every fortnight, start a new piece. I've got that many kitted up already. And if you're Vicky, Reading and Stitching, she is the one who originally conned me into this idea, and she has decided to do a Mill Hill Monday and a Fancy Lady Friday at this stage. So there's plenty of ways you can join us for year of starts, but in particular, the 29th will be a new start each month. And some months we have a particular new start in mind that you don't have to start, but some of us are. And Sammy would have more idea what they were.
Yeah. And the event is called Leap into a New Start, since it's leap year. And that's why we chose the 29th, because it's, only once every 4 years that February gets the 29th. So for January, so we have a monthly sale that you can start at any point during the month. Just post in the event. Let us know. These are a good one to maybe choose to do on the 29th. So I'll run through those first, and then we'll go through the personal sales that are on there. So January is Hawk Run Hollow. And what are you starting, Lisa?
Right, let me find this for you, because I may as well show you some pictures so it's a bit more interesting. That's if I have it in here. Let's delve into my 2020 stitching and have I actually put it in here. I'm sharing and it's not behaving. Here it is, here it is. I can find it nearly. I am going to be starting this lovely one, The Village at Hawk Run Hollow. And I'm really pleased we're doing it in January because there's 12 squares. And so I plan to do that as my own little monthly sale where I do one square each month. What about you, Sammy?
I am trying to pull it up. My internet is running slow as well. No, it's in here. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's share this. This is, can you see this, Lisa?
Yep.
Okay, this is Shores at Hawk Run Hollow, but I'm going to be doing a modified version. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm going to do this square, the long square, and this small square. And I'm thinking I'm going to make them like these four, or this block here.
That'd look cute.
So it's going to be, well, a couple of these squares I don't much care for, but my mother-in-law loves lighthouses, and her father recently passed away, and he was in the Navy. So this in memory of, I'm going to be changing out the information to be his and make this kind of a memorial piece for her.
Oh, lovely. Sounds like a great plan.
So that's January. Well, that's the monthly for January.
And
February,
we're starting on the 1st.
We're doing.
And we'll be starting that
you can
anytime
start
from the 1st.
Yeah. A lot of us are starting it on the 1st, but you could start it any day.
Like a new start.
February is Cinnamon Stars.
Okay.
I forgot who it's by.
Oh, we honestly don't know because I don't have that one.
Plum Street Samplers. So I am going to go ahead and show this event because I put the picture in there.
Yay.
So if you have this chart or something with a house and stars or something Plum Street. You know, we don't exclude anybody, but there's going to be a lot of people starting this one come February.
It's beautiful.
Yes. I think actually one of our members just finished it too.
Yes.
Laura.
She did.
So, okay. So then March, we are doing, my internet locked up.
So you don't know what we're doing in March?
Nope, the screen's frozen.
Okay, hold on.
Let me see if
I can look it up. I just got to change events from what I was in. Joys of technology is wonderful when it works and not wonderful when it doesn't. All right, here we are. Events. March. Scenic nature cell.
yeah, so anything scenery, like not focusing on people or animals, just.
Oh, I got one for that. I know we're not doing detailed planning, but I just sort of feel like doing something, just talking.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So scenic nature for me. Oh, it's probably not in there. Here it is. I would have to do this one. That's my Animal Kingdom Haid pattern. That's going to come in handy for a couple of the other things we're going to talk about, but that's definitely nature. You can't get much more nature than that.
Yep. Okay.
April?
Yes.
I can't see that far in advance.
Okay. April, I found my notebook.
Oh, good.
So we'll go from that.
Lucky.
We're gonna do a market sale. So any patterns that are released at market in 2020 or 2019, any market release that you want to work on or start.
Okay. So. Well, that's
because market's March, so it gives you a little time.
There's another one to add to a year of starts.
In May, we're doing freebie or smalls.
Hold on. So, yeah, so that was April, was it?
Yeah.
Free or small. Well, that's cool. Good to get a couple of little things done.
Yes. Okay, and then for June, we have animals. What do you think about that one, Lisa?
What you think I would do for animals? I wonder.
Okay.
Let me see. Magic Kingdom.
So anything with an animal in it. Yeah. So July, we are doing Christmas in July. Get out those Christmas ornaments, get out the Christmas pieces, throw a few stitches in.
Ooh, that's good because I'll have a new Christmas piece that comes up in another cell. My Odyssey cell. I'll be able to double dip.
Okay, yeah. We're coming back to that.
Exactly.
In August, anything with a fantasy theme.
Well, that'll be another Haid for me. That'll be the one that many people are starting, the new Amy Stewart fairy tale bookshelf.
Yes. Yep. I will be doing that one as well.
Would you like me to show you that one?
Go ahead.
Why not? People need to see this one.
If anybody's living under a rock and hasn't seen this yet.
This is what it looks like. Yeah. It's gorgeous.
So gorgeous.
Can't get much more fantasy than that.
Nope. And I know quite a few people who would love the opportunity to work on a good dragon or unicorn.
Yeah.
So in September, we're doing a sampler sale. So if you like samplers or want to try one and need that extra push, awesome. September will be the month for
samplers. I mean, I love samplers. I'm just trying to think, what samplers do I have? I know what sampler I'll have by then that I can double dip on from earlier. one that we're starting in February. I'll be able to double dip on that.
All right. October is anything that's part of a series. So,
Anything.
You know, a lot of us do mystery stitch alongs or those cottage garden samplings that I have. Those are a series.
Yeah.
Several of the Nora Corbett's, you know, she's got like her fairy series and things like that.
I was just thinking my Barbara Bart's Angels could get a revisit then.
Because she has a small series of those. In November, we are doing something a little more specific, and that is Miss Christmas Eve by Mirabilia.
I'm going to dig that one up. I can show you that one. She's beautiful. Where is she? There she is.
Yes. Absolutely gorgeous.
And we're doing it in November, so we've got a chance of finishing her by the end of December.
I'm not holding my breath, but
she's gorgeous.
It will nice to at least have her started by Christmas. In December, we do not currently have a monthly sale, but with the looks of how finished that Stitch December went this year, I really think we're going to have to revisit.
Yeah, I vote for that, Sammy. It's been awesome.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of participation both in our group and on Instagram through the hashtag. Today is the 14th. You're probably not seeing this on the 14th, but it's the 14th. I've already completed 11 of my projects.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So. Well, I did bigger projects than you, but I've already completed 2, and I'm working on my 3rd one. And I gave myself approximately 5 to 6 days each project, so I'm actually spot on. Plus, I've done a bit of time on the next project. So, yeah, it's been a great idea, Sammy. I say do it, do it, do it.
Yeah, so that's, you know, on the list. So that gets us through our monthlies. Again, those can be started any day during that month, or worked on any day during that month. Just post in the event, let us know how it's going. Also, Vicki Gable from Stitch and Button, she has created a sale list in our group. And she's included hashtags for all of them. So
wow,
you could always just use the hashtag.
Yeah.
So a few other sales we've got going on based on member request. The first is the Donna Gelsinger sale. Now, Donna Gelsinger is a designer with Hate. So really, if you don't have a Donna Gelsinger, just pull out that Hate and work on it a little bit more.
Cool.
And those ladies are starting that on the 1st. So
there's a lot happening on the 1st. January's a big month.
Yeah. Yes. I think it's because a new year creates so much excitement for new starts and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So Connie G is having a sale over on her Facebook group, but she also put one on our Facebook group. So any of her designs, if you work on them in 2020, you can pop it on in there.
Cool.
Starting January 10th. Next, Ms. Joni has been convinced to have an Artisty sale. So again, Artisty is a full coverage type. So if you don't have an Artisty, maybe pull out a Hate and join us. But,
I'll show you an Artisty. This is the one I'll be doing. I had it ready because I knew it was the second one we'd be doing in the year, but then we went not in chronological order. So I'm going to be working on this one, which is called Santa's or Christmas House 2. It's one of those see-through-the-walls houses. And that way that'll double up for my Christmas thing later in the year.
Yes. So I will not be joining y'all in the Artisty. I might pull out a Hate that day. got some full coverages. The next one is one I'm really excited about, and I will pop this picture up to show y'all. And it's weird because it's not really my style typically, but this is the Modern Folk Embroidery Mystery Stitch Along for 2020, and it is just gorgeous.
Die for. Yep, I'm definitely doing this. So what date are we doing that on?
February, I believe it's the 7th.
Yeah,
yes,
so we're
7th.
sort of starting a month behind because it starts in January, but we have so much else in January, we couldn't do it all, but we figure we can catch up pretty quickly. I'm going to do mine on just a plainish fabric, but using a variegated Silks for You, Hank. My plan for it. You got any plans for it?
I haven't yet. I've got plenty of fabric over there though. I have a fabric in mind possibly, which would be a solid that I could put a variegated thread on. However, it'd be all about making sure those colors work together. So I got to get that one figured out. But
cool.
I also think the good thing about starting in February, because it's a SAL or a mystery stitch along, it makes sure that, you know, we've all got that full first piece to work on and getting into that second piece. So,
yeah.
It's interesting though that they release what it's going to look like as a whole, but they only give it to you in pieces.
Yeah.
It's a little different than others.
But I like that because at least now we know we want to do it. Nothing like getting burnt with a SAL that you don't know what it's going to look like, and then you go,
Yeah, we've all been there, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so February 20th is Miss Headmistress Vicky's birthday. And for her birthday, she is starting The Reader by Joan Elliott. So
I may or may not have that one. Let me have a look. I may have taken it out of my list because I was going to do it, but then I thought, do I really need to? Actually, I couldn't decide which fabric to do it on. Yeah, no, she's not there anymore. Sorry, I can't look at her.
All right, and then April 18th is Megan's birthday, and she is doing Vintage Birds by Jeanette Douglas. So she said anything with a big bird, anything by Jeanette Douglas.
I think for me, you'd have to pick anything that actually has a bird in it, which means I'm going back to the magic animal kingdom.
Yeah, that may get me to start that Birds to the Boughs by Lindy Stitches, because I have that kitted up and ready to go.
Cool.
He's got some big birds. May 26th is Jen's birthday sal. Jen Gabai or Jen Fiona. She's starting Catch the Wind by Butternut Road.
I'm joining her on that one, so I can show you that one. That's this one. They're the three pretty girls.
Yes, and I believe Vicky's starting that one too.
Yeah, so there's quite a few of us starting it. You can even see my nice little fabric I dyed over there to have them on. Make it look like they're in the meadow. Yes. Are there any others before mine before I stop sharing the screen, or should I just switch?
Nope, yours is next.
Okay, you keep talking then.
So for Lisa's birthday, we are doing that. Fairy Tale Village by A Beauty Design.
Yes, and it's a huge piece. It's actually only 30 centimeters deep. Oh, sorry. How much is 30 centimeters, Sammy? A foot?
10 inches? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something like that.
But it's 5 foot 4 inches long, which is as tall as I am. So it's going to be a big thing, but yeah, really looking like that. But some people don't want to do that. So we decided that you could do anything you liked, really. If you want to join me for my birthday sal, just do something that involves houses. So for example,
yes, Lisa loves her house.
See, here's another one I know that my friend Jen's going to do with me. And there's another one I know Belinda's going to do in my honor that I'm going to do with her too. So I've now got 3 pieces to do for my birthday sal.
Stay busy, busy. All right. So next would be my birthday, Sal. And I'm doing Garden Prelude by Mirabilia. I don't have it yet, but my plan is to start it for my birthday. So
well, I'm sure you can acquire it for your birthday and start it for your birthday. I forgot that either. Well, I won't be joining you on the exact piece, but I will stitch on my Mirabilia.
Hey, there you go.
So that'll be good.
So August 23rd is Layla Claiborne. I forgot what her YouTube name is.
Don't know.
I don't remember. But she's a floss tuber, and her birthday is she's starting the Farmhouse Christmas series.
I will be joining her with that because, yes, it's a series. And you mentioned about stitching on a series in some other month too. Is that the same month? Because I could double dip that really nicely. No. Oh, okay. Because the Farmhouse Christmas.
October.
Oh, well, close enough. Yeah, because I've already done 3 of them. So I've got 5 more to go. You always get me yawning in these videos. Sorry.
Well, it's late for you, really early for me. Gotta love being across the world from each other.
Yeah.
So that is everything Virtual Stitchers has to offer currently. But like I said, we are always adding more.
Oh, yeah. But that's more than enough on there. And I already know there are people talking about doing some of the other SALs, the ones like the Clouds Factory and those sort of ones. When they come out, they're talking about doing them. So who knows what else Virtual will be doing.
Right.
So that's all the sort
of
got
to join all the
unofficial stuff. That's just what we're doing on the side. Then you've got the official challenge group, Sammy.
Yes. Why don't you pick one to start with?
You want me to pick one? Well, I was thinking, since we've been talking about Hades a lot, why don't we talk about the full coverage Fanatics?
Yes. So they have a few different challenges next year. I don't know all of them. I do know their biggest one for next year is called Stitching the National Parks. And they have a list of, they've got 5 tiers. Each tier has 5 parks in it. To complete a park, you need to put 4,000 stitches into a full coverage design. So that's what, 20,000 stitches? 20?
Yeah, that's for tier 1 is 20,000 stitches. And then I didn't read any further than that because I'm only beginning on full coverage, so I didn't want to overcommit myself. Not that it matters because it's all voluntary. But I've only signed up for tier 1, but I don't know how many tier 5 it is.
It's the same for all the tiers.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, by the time you've done, if you do all 5 tiers, you've done 100,000 stitches for the year.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Now, I know that you can change projects per tier, but I'm not sure about each park in the tier. I didn't really.
I think it's one project per park. So you have to do your 4,000 stitches on, I don't even know the names of the parks, but Park A, and then you can change project and do 4,000 on Park B if you want.
So I've got this little sheet I made up. If you are interested, you can let me know.
This is Sammy's organization brain.
1, yes, and if you also watch my channel, you're going to see all this when I go through my planner, but here we are. So the first 5 parks are Acadia, Arches, Badlands, Carlsbad Caverns, and Death Valley. And then I left a blank for which project you're choosing to work on, when you start it and when you finish it. And I put those dates in when I make the post in Full Coverage Fanatics so that I know that I did it.
I love that because
5 tiers.
Sammy, I am so impressed by your organization. She's been doing a lot of work to help get herself organized, but I think it's really generous that she's willing to share her brain with other people. I, for one, am going to be adopting Sammy's brain, as I have done all year, but I'm going to be continuing to adopt Sammy's brain because it just really helps. And, people want to know, how do we manage so many things? You need a notebook. You need something to keep track of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have sheets for each of my yearly things that are going on, the big things in each of the groups. And then I will also have like weekly pages for those smaller things that come along as the year progresses.
Yeah, I've got a diary, and I bought a diary that's a page a day. So I can keep track of my stitch counts on there, what they're for, and then keep track of the weeklies and stuff that way. But I'm going to use these sheets for the big events, which will be good. Relating to the Hades, then that crosses over into Sane. Sane are doing a full coverage one as well, which they've got a yep.
Just before we say that, there's also another challenge I know of that's 20 and 20, and it's to put 20,000 stitches into one of your projects throughout the course of the year.
With full coverage. Check them out if you like doing full coverage. It doesn't have to be Hades. It's just any full coverage pieces, I think. Awesome.
Yeah, it has to be 95% or more full coverage.
All right, well, I'll go to Sane and have a look. But I know that Sane have just released a new one to do with the fairy tale sale that so many people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to do with sharing your progress on that.
I believe it is Stitching the Bookshelf.
Yeah, so this is called, well, Once Upon a Fairy Tale, New Start. Oh, that's a different one. No, not that one. Stitching a Bookshelf.
Different.
What's your shelf life? Here we go.
Yeah.
It's unusual for them. So it's an ongoing sale for the year. You just participate, and it's basically you can work on any of her bookshelves or the QS portions. And basically it gives you an area where you can actually share the progress on your shelves. And for some of us, that's a good thing to do. All right. Well, while you're with Sane, do you know anything else?
Well, our big one for that one, there's two actually. The first one, and this one's pretty big for them, it's the Around the World Challenge.
Oh, yes.
So each month they've released a different part of the world, and they have 6 prompts. And so I'm gonna kind of zoom in here so that you can see. Oh, that's September. Hold on, that's confusing. Or January. Okay, so for January we're going to China. Okay. And so,
you want me to read it?
Oh, no, I got it.
Yep.
This first one is anything you wish. You can stitch on anything, put 5,000 stitches into it. It can also, it's the only one of the prompts that you can use multiple whips for, but you cannot double dip with the other parts of this
country.
This challenge.
Yeah.
You can double dip with some of their other challenges, but not within its own. So then the next 1,000 is something to do with China. A China doll, something you get from China. I think Pretty Little has Tokyo, different, something to do with China. Tokyo's in Japan.
Tokyo's Japan.
Ignore me. I'm tired. Stitching with something with stars.
Cinnamon stars.
Cinnamon stars. We're here. Something with peonies. It's a type of flower that's popular there. I'm not sure how strict they are on that. If you could go with a different flower, I don't know. But they said something with peonies. An animal found in China.
I got that.
So,
Panda.
Panda, yes. And your longest whip.
Oh.
And I think they mean.
They mean longest. Like my birthday sale, but I won't have started by that stage. It's not a whip yet because I haven't started it, but yeah, they mean long.
So, and then each of those is 5,000. So then, or 1,000 each, totaling 5,000 plus the original 5,000, 10,000 each month to complete these prompts. So we got China, Hawaii, Ireland, Canada, Japan, Hispanic and Latino, Africa, Fabulous Cities, North Pole, Oceania, Deep Blue, and Middle East. So
Cool.
it's kind of all over the place.
Sounds a lot of fun. What else have they got?
Yes. The other big one is ABC one. It's called Alphabet Soup, and so each one lasts 2 weeks, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, and you just stitch on something that starts with that letter. 24 Hours of Cross Stitch is also doing the same thing. So I bought their planner, and I'll be using their tracker for theirs and for Semi-Sane. Cool. Double dip, easy as pie.
Yay!
Yeah. So that's the two big ones.
Cool.
That they have, but there's a bunch of others. Did you want to go over some of those? Or?
Not really, because they tend to have other ones that just last like the monthlies and whatever, and we'll go over them as the months progress.
Okay. The one I did want to mention is Serial Stitcher, because they want everybody signed up by the end of this month. So
okay. Do you want me to read about that one?
Yeah, let's go ahead and read that one out so you know whether or not you want to get signed up.
Okay, so this one, they did some really good events this year that were interesting, like their murder mystery and stuff and the Stitches games. So this one reminds me sort of the murder mystery. So it was created by a 9-year-old. The idea is that you will either be an innocent, a sheriff, or a murderer. You'll be randomly determined, and you'll get told what you are. You post a starting picture, and at the end of the night, you post your ending picture and you count for the day. So you have to count. Whoever the murderer is chooses to eliminate up to 3 players, but they can't eliminate anyone that stitched more stitches than them. The murderer then basically eliminated. The sheriff then tries to take out the murderer, and then each day a couple more victims will die off. So it sounds really cool, basically like an elimination day, but if you stitch a lot, you're not likely to get killed.
You know what it kind of reminds me of?
What?
Is Roblox. My kids play a game on Roblox where one person's the sheriff, one person's the murderer, and then the other people are all just kind of running around. And so I'm sure that's probably where her 9-year-old got something like this. But I think, but I love their originality in some of their games. They really are just original.
It's going to be really cool. I'm going to sign up, and I'm actually hoping I get murdered in the first 6 days, because then I'm going on a cruise. But anyway, I'll play for 6 days. That'll be fun.
Yeah. So that's it. That's a pretty neat one. Coming up, you need to be signed up by the 29th of December in order to participate.
Okay.
Starting January 1st.
Cool.
Okay. They also have a new start for the new year. They have a place where you can set some resolutions, some goals that you want to hit by the end of the year. They have a pick it and stick to it if you're one of those that really needs to get something done, and then a bunch of other stuff. So, all right, what's next?
Do you want to do the new ones, the newer groups?
Let's talk about some new groups before we finish up our others.
Okay, so the new one that you joined not so long ago was Enchanted Stitches. Do you know anything about what they've got planned?
I do, because I've talked to Kat, and they haven't released this yet, but she has some really cool yearly event. She has a yearly event in her mind. She's still getting it set up, so I can't give you any details. But I do know you're going to find it similar to this year. Semi-Sane did the Stitching the Planets, and other groups have done like Stitching the World, or different types. It's going to fall into that category where you need so many stitches to get from one place to another place in your traveling.
And this year they did like monthlies on movies.
Yes.
And that will continue.
So every month they pick a movie. Yes. Pick a movie, and they have all their weekly prompts are based on that movie. Their monthly is also. So it's going to stay pretty similar to what it is now. What about that new one?
The very new group is called Mythological Stitches Challenge. And it's only just got created this week. And it looks like it's taking the same sort of vein as other challenge groups, which is exciting. And it's all based on mythological creatures and things. So as far as I can tell, I don't know, I haven't had time to look at it properly yet. I'm not sure if there's an actual like year long or anything yet, but month wise, they've got challenges. So basically, it's about Egypt and ancient Egyptian mythology. So they've got some activities to do with that you can stitch. And the really cool thing about this group is it's really chilled by the looks of it. You stitch on anything you think is going to fit. And then basically you do not have to stitch the recommended amount. You stop whenever you want to, whenever you're happy with your progress. And you just, you can choose to count the stitches for double dipping across all their challenges, or you can just do it for a challenge and do extra stitches for something else. Have I frozen? Oh no, it's just you. You stopped moving. I'm thinking, am I talking to myself? Yeah, so basically month-long stitch on something to do with ancient Egypt. So they're really cool there. Then they've got week-long ones, which they've already sort of posted, and it's to do with just different little things. So like the first one's to do with vampires. You've got to decide, can vampires be sparkly? So that's pretty cool. A couple of cute things there, different things, and then there's a whole bunch of other similar sort of things that looks like it's going to be weekly events to keep you busy on different themes.
Okay. And the fun part is always trying to find the common denominator between, you know, School of Magical Stitches, Enchanted Stitches, Mythology, Daily 30, like
Sane.
How can we make one piece fit across all these different groups? Another new one coming out of the woodworks, which is not a challenge group per se, it's more of a personal challenge group, is WIPGO 2020. This is hosted by Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She and I did WIPGO this last year. She did really well with it. I kind of petered out.
You did.
Part of my problem is I just kept forgetting to draw for the bingo board. So she's going to be doing 2 monthly draws.
Oh, cool.
So you go, she has the WIPGO board, you just download it, fill it in with all your own whips, and wait for her to draw. She kind of has a guideline, but it's really about a self-motivating, so you set your own goals and your own rules. So that group just opened today, and I've seen some really neat WIPGO boards already, so cool. It's going to be fun to
so many
try
choices.
That again this year.
So many choices.
Yes.
Right. Well, you mentioned Magical Stitches.
Oh Lordy, Magical Stitches. Vicki took things to a whole new level this year, y'all. Just absolutely crazy. So she is actually part of the reason we had to wait to do this video, because I didn't want to have to not tell you what her yearly challenges were. So, which one was your favorite, Lisa?
I actually like the really big one, the Read It or Stitch It, because I don't do any reading. So I like the fact that there's a whole challenge based just on stitching, and then if you like reading, you can do it all again for reading.
Yes, or you can pick and choose. Because like last year we had an ultimate stitching challenge and we had an ultimate reading challenge, and they were different. And this way you can choose to do either one. So there's different sections. This is not up to date because we've made some changes since these, but I will have these available if you're interested in the groups. So our first section is based on the different lands that are available in Disney World. Well, in each of them, because there's Disney World, there's Magic Kingdom, I think is what it's called. Hollywood Studios, each of the different Epcot. And these are prompt-based, but they're very loose, like, interpretations. So, like, for example, number 1, Main Street, USA, something set in a small town. So for me, that might be easier to find in a book. So I would read that one. Then the next one is Tomorrowland, something set in the future. Well, I have a project with planets on it, and that's futuristic. So I would stitch that one. You can choose which one. You just can't do both unless you complete the entire section, and then you can go back and do the opposite of whatever you did the first time.
I love that flexibility. And it's a lot of different choices, and you get to choose your own adventure, really. I love doing that.
Yeah. So, and then section 2 is movies, all the Disney movies. And then section 3 is all the Disney characters. And there's a lot of them, y'all. So y'all will be stitching this forever. There's 500, it's 500 stitches per, or reading a book with at least 125 pages in it. So
awesome.
Somebody
so
is into that.
That's all right. He can come and say hello. So what else have we got in Mythical Stitches then?
The ultimate stitching for the year is going to be to, like, our main goal for the group for the year is to build the parks. And so the big group itself is going to build parts of the parks. But as an individual challenge, you can add to your parks resorts. So it's got the value resorts, the deluxe resorts, and how many stitches you need in order to build them. And also, if you want the golf course down here, if you want to travel to each of the parks, because there's California, Paris, Shanghai, Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Florida. So there's challenges to get you through each of those. And sorry, he's cracking me up. To build those and add those to your park.
Cool. And the other thing I like, the other one I like is the fact that you can actually do the stitch the books.
Stitch the books.
Like map the book challenge, how many pages are in each book, and you stitch a certain number of stitches for each page. So that keeps you going for a long time.
Now, and all of those, plus the weeklies and monthlies that it normally has, you can't double dip any of those. So you have to choose to do this and do this and do this. So you have a lot of freedom of choice, and of course you don't have to do it all. It's personal. You're trying to do what you can for yourself. There is one challenge though that is muy loco en la cabeza, and but it can double dip with any of these, and that is the outrageous headmistress challenge. It was introduced this last year with Harry Potter, and we are going to continue it with the new books.
Cool.
And they are basically one stitch per word for every word in the books.
Wow.
And for the villain series, because we have 2 series this year, the villain series, that's 380,945 stitches.
Oh.
And yeah, and for the Kingdom Keepers, it's 660,040 stitches.
So that's nearly 1 million stitches.
That's over 1 million stitches.
Over 1 million. Wow.
Yeah. So me personally, I'm not even topping 200,000 this year. Like, how am I gonna get to 1 million next year? Like,
oh, well, it's worth trying. But yeah, and that's where the planner will come in handy, because the idea with that is to post your progress as you go on just like one post and just keep topping it up.
Yes. Yeah, and if you have a hard time understanding how to do that, I do have a video tutorial in your hotel to check out.
Resorts. So, thank you very much.
Resorts.
So what else have we got?
Get yourself credit. Okay. So we got new groups. Man, I can't even.
Is there an ultimate cross stitch group? there anything you know for them?
They only release theirs like when they're ready to do them. So you can't plan anything ahead of time with them.
Okay.
So
Stitch Maynia.
Their styles are pretty basic, kind of like ours. I haven't gone through them though.
No. So they're basically the groups that we're sort of involved with or aware of. And really just going to be trying to cross-check as many as possible to maximize our stitching. I know, Cheryl's group.
Cheryl's group, yes.
Knew we were forgetting one.
Okay, so yeah. Again, she hasn't released a lot of next year's information. She tends to do that week by week. However, she has teased us with next year's yearly challenge in that we have to pick 3 projects to focus on. For these are the only 3 projects you can use to work on the yearly with. So and that was very intimidating, like trying to limit a list of 70 down to 3. Like,
and she said probably best to get 1 big, 1 medium, and 1 small. I'll show you what I chose because you've been listening to us talk for a long time. Time for some pretty pictures.
Yes.
Keep talking while I find them. I got to change albums.
Okay. Yeah, so and I asked her, I said, do we need to be able to finish all of these? And she sent me an emoji with the zipper on the mouth. So my assumption is that she told us specifically to have a small one because there's going to be something about finishing in there. I'll bet you.
All right.
So
my choices are this one, my We Are Human Sal, because I've done more than that now, but I've done 2/3 of this one for this year. So it covers a lot of bases. There's lots of animals and things happening in there, but I've only got 1/3 of it to go. My second choice was my Mirabilia, which we've touched on already, my Alice. And see, look, she still looks like My Little Pony over here. But then I could get her finished if I needed to. Oh, I've stopped sharing. Sorry. And then the last one, wrong button, I went for really big because why not? And I decided to pick on the animals because there's heaps of different things that you can get. Colors, you can get animals, you can get countries, you can get lots of things out of that one.
Yes.
What about you?
And it's already done in so many areas that you're going to be working on it anyway.
Yep. What did you pick, Sammy?
Okay, let's start with my biggest, and that is my mini Alice in a Dolly Dream, because I am stitching this for someone else. So I wanted to make it a focus this year to try definitely get at least 1 page, hoping for more. She would probably be my 20 and 20. She'd probably be my full coverage Fanatics. Like, I want to knock out some work on her. My other one, my small is going to be Too Happy by RETM. Again, because this is a gift for someone else, and so I kind of like to just knock it out. Plus, it's small and a pretty quick stitch. So if that's something we're going to need to finish, I would like to get that push. My third one is in here somewhere. Maybe. Oh, here it is. It's Forever and Ever by Cottage Garden Samplings. It's just one I really want to focus on this year.
Cool.
So.
Now, I like the fact that you and I chose WIPs we're currently working on. I know some people have picked new starts they want to start, but I took WIPs literally and thought, well, I've got enough WIPs to work on this year that I want to give them a bit more love and get them finished. So, yeah, we shall see what else happens.
You see this?
Yep, I see this. Relaxed. Happy
Chilling.
to be in Mummy's arms. So basically, I'm going to be relying on your planners to keep me on track. I really like the way you can tick the boxes for each 1,000 or 100 or whatever it is. I love the way you do that. It keeps me straight.
So something else with Cheryl's group, and this is not an event, it's not an official anything, but it's something she came up with that I'm participating in, I thought was really neat. And that is Stitch My Hours. Did you see that event?
I did.
So you put in like when you were born, and you want to put in a stitch for every hour you've been alive. And of course, as you're going and stitching, you're going to add to those hours. So it's not something you can do rather quickly. It's an overtime thing. But on my planner page, I've of course put my birthday, and I even got my mom to tell me what time I was born. And I have a column for each year. And I'm going to write in here manually how many stitches that is, because I need to get this printed out. And then when I started and completed it. So
cool.
Pretty simple and basic.
And you can double dip that with everything else.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna have I'm gonna have like a daily checklist. In fact, I found these at the store. So I might use these. This is a habit tracker, but I could write in that first one, you know, update my hours, update the outrageous headmistress challenge, update this, and then check it off each day of the week or each day all month. Because those are something that you work on when you work on everything else too. So
do you have to post a photo every day when you update them?
No, you don't have to, but when I switch projects so much that I figure I need to put those there so I remember.
Cool. So there you go, people. That is what we know so far about what's coming next year. But hold on to your hats for January. January is going to be a slide into the year.
Yeah.
No rest for the wicked.
Because a lot of people are going to start releasing things that we haven't seen yet. Weeklies and their own yearlies that they just haven't gotten around to yet. This is just what we're aware of at the moment.
And I know there's a couple of other people talking about challenges, so we'll see if they actually pull it off and get it together. Oh, it's so cute. All right. Well, we just thought we'd give you this one this week because we don't have, we do have normal homework we can talk about tomorrow, I guess, but just to show you what we're thinking for the year.
And that way, if any of this looked interesting to you, the links will be below. You can join the groups and see for yourself. You can always join the groups and not participate if you just want to see people's progress or how things play out. But I will have all those linked below.
Good job, Sane. Yay. Well, we'll see you next time we see you, people.
Bye.